Boy, these scandals are stacking up like planes on an airport runway. Have you seen this? As big government gets bigger, now even some Democrats are saying policing it is getting harder. And that is making it easier for Washington to make a mess of things. Katie Pavlich, Adam Lashinsky, and Lenwood Brooks on this growing problem. Katie, what do you make of this?
Well, for a long time, you've had big government proponents saying that big government actually works for the people. And we're seeing now with scandals and we're seeing now with government waste that big government is expensive. And most importantly, I think it means big government, you can't hold anyone accountable for bad decisions that are made in that government. There's no reason why we need bloated federal government programs that aren't working well for the people while at the same time not holding our government officials accountable for the decisions that they make that affect the people that hire them.
Lenwood?
Well, you know, the IRS, Neil, just did a parody video we learned of $60,000. To me, it's no surprise that they don't like these conservative groups that attack government spending. I mean, this is a symptom of big government, but this is really about an administration that's not being transparent, Neil, when they promised us they'd be the most transparent administration in history.
Well, you know, Adam, let's say the administration didn't have any direct ties to this. I'm talking more to the point at the White House, that this was, you know, some rogue activity on the part of some overzealous agents, maybe even beyond just the Cincinnati office involved. But that the sheer breadth and the dimensions of this bespeaks to how big the IRS has gotten, how big government has gotten, and now the IRS eventually taking control of enforcing the new health care law shows it's gotten out of control. And that is the underlying problem.
Well, I don't agree with the premise. We don't have a growing problem. We have a problem. Yes, government is too big, it's too complicated, and it becomes an ideological conversation. Well, what do we do about that? The people who are against government want to just get rid of it all, and that's not a particularly good solution.
No, I don't think they say get rid of it all. No, that's not get rid of it.
Yeah, but that's...
Police the mess before you make it messier. Before the IRS agents take control of still more health care. Let's get this under control. Let's find out what happened first.
But
right?
my only point, Neil, is that this isn't new. There are not scandals piling up. These kinds of things happen in every administration.
No, Adam, I love you dearly, but you got the Justice Department going after reporters. You got the IRS now going after anti-abortion groups. You've got a large section of agencies now checking their talking points out on Benghazi. You've got the Health and Human Services now trying to hit up private companies to promote the health care law. Where there's smoke, I see a lot of fire.
But it's not new. It's not new smoke. Look, wherever our government is behaving badly,
I gave you so much.
Wherever our government is behaving badly, if it's behaving badly, we should look into it and hold their feet to the fire. We're doing it.
But I gave you hold their feet to multiple fires, Katie. That's what I'm saying. There are multiple fires going on here.
Right, and this is absolutely has to do with big government. And I want to push back a little bit on this notion that small government proponents simply just want to get rid of government. They don't. The fact is, big government does not work. We've seen this with the IRS. We've seen this with Obamacare. We've seen it with Medicare and Medicaid. We've seen it through every single sector in the government. Education. The fact is that big government is bad government.
Now,
small government is efficient government, and you're able to hold government officials accountable. Yeah,
you're not describing a new problem.
It is a new problem.
Let's bring Lenwood in. Let's bring Lenwood in because he's been calm and adult-like here. But Lenwood, I'm joking, you guys have as well. But Lenwood, is there a worry that, you know, in this rush, for example, to get the health care law out and all that, everyone says, well, the IRS is still going to be monitoring it, still going to be policing these 49 financial provisions. It won't happen again. Don't worry again. Just ignore that guy behind the curtain. And I'm just saying, you know, could we just slow the hell down here?
Exactly right. We should slow down, you know, and we should get to the bottom of it. And that's why I'm so astonished that the administration is opposed to having an independent counsel. There should be an independent counsel with subpoena powers that can go in and report the facts. They don't want the facts coming out at this point if they don't support having an independent counsel.
Come on, you're not being serious here. You know, you talk about a $60,000 video. You know that's a red herring. I mean, that just doesn't matter. Every administration that's accused of wrongdoing says we don't want an independent counsel. I'm not done speaking. And then we have an independent counsel and we get to the bottom of it. I mean, you said that big government is to blame for everything. Education's the perfect example. We have a terrible education system in this country. It's a grievous problem, and most of it is local government. I mean, you just can't blame these things on big government.
Katie?
Yes, you can. Well, and this is not, I'm sick of Democrats and people like you saying that it doesn't matter. The IRS, whether they're targeting
I didn't say it didn't matter.
Yes, you said it. You just said out of your mouth, it doesn't matter. The IRS using all of the powers it has.
Yeah, the $60,000 video doesn't matter. That's
I'm not done speaking yet. I'm not done speaking yet to say what you just said. Excuse me. The fact is that the IRS, the most powerful agency in the federal government, arguably, was specifically targeting groups for political purposes. And now the administration is saying they don't want an independent counsel. Why? Because that would mean they would look into the wrongdoing.
Well,
People
but,
would have to be
Katie,
held accountable.
I will say this.
Obamacare wouldn't be able to be implemented based on the power of the IRS.
But Linwood, I'll pick this up because others have mentioned this as well. You know, there is a reluctance with a prosecutor. I can understand because many Democrats say Ken Starr overstepped his bounds, that he went into areas he shouldn't have. That's a political kind of a view. I can understand where those against it feel, how those for it feel. But having said all of that, I think it gets back to a basic notion whether, and I apply this rule to contractors, if you have a contractor at your house, expect 10% of it, that figure they're giving you is padded, abuse, wasted, lie, distortion, extortion. Not my contractors, mind you, but I think that that's built into a lot of this. And so I think the bigger government gets, the bigger institutions get, they're ripe for more of this type of activity just by sheer volume of dollars going into it.
That's exactly right. And I think part of the problem we have in Washington is when people think it's okay that the IRS wastes $60,000 on a video that is a parody on Star Trek. Now, yes, that is not even a drop in the bucket.
I thought that was a very good video. I did. I thought that was a very effective video. And the one guy looked very much like Spock. No?
But it goes to a larger problem.
Okay.
Government not spending the dollars of the taxpayers efficiently.
All right. Not living long and not prospering, I guess. All right, guys, hang around there. We're going to have you back in a little bit.